And welcome to Upon Further Review. I'm Josh Aubrey. Plenty to get to in this week's show, a lot of action. The highlight from this past week, of course, being the state flag football championship for single A through 4A, featuring an all Bulloch County matchup of Southeast Bulloch taking on the Portal Panthers. For Southeast Bulloch, their first year of playing, they run through the season undefeated, run through the playoffs without allowing a single point. Meanwhile, for the Portal Panthers, they got a little later start to the season as they had to wait for a lot of their softball players to get there before they could even play games because of their numbers. They were able to win some really tight games and make their second straight appearance in the state championship. We'll send you out for some highlights of those games. That game, rather, with the Southeast Bulloch Yellow Jackets winning their first state championship 20-0 over Portal. We'll have highlights of that coming up in just a moment. We'll also have some high school basketball for you from this past week involving the Statesboro Blue Devils and the Bulloch Academy Gators, among others. We'll also send you out for some Georgia Southern basketball highlights with the men and women both in action. All that and plenty more, as well as hearing from Georgia Southern head football coach Clay Helton. All that coming up on Upon Further Review. And a reminder before we go to break, hopefully you'll never be in an accident, but if so, please give our friends at the Sullivan Law Firm a call, 912-489-8888, or online at thesullivanlawfirm.com.
You choose the combination, and they'll cook it in their 500-degree brick oven in just a few minutes. Your own delicious pizza experience using only the freshest ingredients on hand-tossed dough and individually sized just for you. And that Eagle Nation is why they're called Your Pie, because it's all about you. The Your Pie in Statesboro and downtown Savannah is owned and operated by Joe Hunt, a Georgia Southern grad. So when you order your next pizza, be true blue and make it all about you. Go see Joe at Your Pie, and I guarantee it, you'll be glad you did.
Well, head coach Clay Helton's been very busy over the past couple of weeks announcing his new football staff. We had a chance to talk with him Monday about his hirings.
It's been a busy couple of weeks. Going into the coaching hires, there were basically 5 questions that I ask myself anytime that I hire somebody. The first is it a person of elite character? I believe that we are in the relationship business and trust business as far as player-coach relationship. So we always want to be able to make first and foremost that we're bringing in elite character people. The second thing is the ability to develop, and have the knowledge and competency to raise that development to the highest level for our players. Third is a care and concern, to be able to care for the student athlete on and off the field. Fourth, and it's one of the most important things, is the ability to be brutally honest with the player and be able to say, hey, this is your strengths and this is your area of growth. And then lastly, as we all know, we're in the business of recruiting. I'm a lot better coach when we got great players around us, and so the ability to recruit at a high level, especially in our recruiting footprint, was very important to me. And so, in that being said, I'm very proud of what we've done, not only in our personnel staff, being able to hire a general manager in Ryan Smith from Auburn to be with us, to be able to get a elite head strength and conditioning coach in Robert Steiner to come with us, somebody that has been at the likes of LSU and Notre Dame and Mississippi State and Cincinnati and USC to come with me, elite platinum standard strength and conditioning coach, to be able to formulate our leadership on offense with Brian Ellis, as well as requiring some assistance in that area with Ephraim Reed and Ryan Applin, to be able to see our special teams leadership and really focus on being able to make that a high priority in that phase as we improve from last year to this year. In that phase, we saw down the stretch how that can affect games. And so to bring Turner West, who has had the opportunity to be in the NFL 4 years with the Dallas Cowboys and train under Rod Marinelli and Rich Bisaccia, is something that's truly special to bring him on board. There's going to be more announcements. I can't wait for that to be able to happen. At the end of the day, remember the highest priority is getting the right people and the right fit for us. And remember, a lot of the elite people that are out there are still playing football games, whether it's the NFL or whether it's college, and they have responsibilities to their own team. And I'll respect that. We've done a tremendous job with the recruiting staff that was already here. Coach Whitley is another one I'm so proud to be able to have with us. He fits every one of those categories. He's really helped us, as you will see on Wednesday on the defensive side of the ball. The job that he has done with the relationships that he's had in the state has helped us, and then to be able to have a main point of emphasis with our offensive staff to really have the core already here has been great. Know that we are extremely strong on the offensive line as well as our runners, and really wanted to improve our passing game, especially down the field and the explosiveness of the passing game. And when you look at that area, let's go get the number one passing offense in the country. Right now, and with a guy that I know and have worked with, and not only seen his ability to evaluate offensive skill players, develop offensive skill players, be a Georgia native right here from Peach County, and be very well known in our recruiting footprint, but be a part of a system that was elite in the passing game. With my experience, and I'm going to be in the offensive room also, my experience, I've always been, good in the run game. I believe in physical football, but I also believe in taking what the defense gives you, and not being stubborn. If you want to be a too high football team, drop 8 football team, you may get 60, 70 runs in a game. If you want to play man coverage every snap, then you're probably going to get more passes in a game. Just to be able to start from the ground up has been a lot of fun. It started with, just basically getting here and having a chance to eval not only the players but the coaches and what was a fit for us, and then building relationships with everybody in the building, especially the players, to be able to, some of those super seniors and guys that are deciding whether to go to the NFL or come back, and to be able to develop relationships with them so they can make the best decision for themselves. That's taken a lot of time. To be able to garner the best names in the country, to be able to bring here, and to be able to go through that process, and to be able to show Georgia Southern and what a great, unbelievable place it has been. And then you're talking about having to have 3.5 weeks and sign an early signing class. It's basically get in here before the sun comes up, and don't leave until you can't hold your eyes open. But they'll be it's been worth every second, because we're bringing really quality people in here, both player and coach wise. Still got some remaining work to do, but I'm having an absolute blast with it. This is why I came, was just this unbelievable opportunity, this great challenge, and to be able to start something new. And it's been really exciting.
And a reminder, National Signing Day will be Wednesday. We'll have highlights of that and hear from Coach Helton next week. All right, stay with us. The big flag football matchup in the state championship coming up next. McCooks Pharmacy, located on Highway 80 East, is family owned and operated by Lynn and Janie McCook, as well as their son, Josh McCook. Serving the Bulloch County area since 2005, McCooks Pharmacy offers fast and friendly service where the customers come first. Vaccinations are available, including shingles, flu, pneumonia, and Tdap. Drive-through service is available with 2 drive-through windows for your convenience. McCooks Pharmacy offers free local deliveries, and new customers are always welcome. Continuing the tradition of our family caring for your family, McCooks Pharmacy, Highway 80 East. Well, the Southeast Bulloch Yellow Jackets and Portal Panthers, separated by only about 30 miles, had to drive all the way up to Atlanta to play in Center Park Stadium to decide the single A through 4A state championship. Portal making their second straight appearance, Southeast Bulloch making their first in their first season. A lot of great athletes out there on the field and showing how strong flag football is in this area. Let's send you out for some of the highlights. History in the making in Atlanta. Center Park Stadium, 2 Bulloch County teams playing for the state title in flag football. The Portal Panthers making their second straight trip to the title game. Southeast Bulloch undefeated on the season. Plenty of friendships across county lines, but both teams with their eyes on the prize. Southeast Bulloch defense making a statement early on. Ansley Littles, the interception down to the 30-yard line, and on the very next play, Littles airs it out. And check out the acrobatic grab by Delaney Thames in the end zone. The Jackets take a 7-0 lead. More from the offense. Littles getting it done with her legs as well. She gets ahead 12 yards for a first down. A few plays later from the 4, it's Littles going in for the score. And it's 13-0 Southeast Bulloch. Before the half, Littles looking for more. But Blair Brannon there for the interception for the Panthers. And we go to the half with the Jackets leading 13-0. Second half, and the Jacket defense turns it up a notch. Alex Odom coming through with another interception. The offense unable to capitalize, and it's the defense again. This time, Addie Hood, the third pick of the game, and this one does lead to points. 4th and 16, and Littles looking for Delaney Thames again. She hauls it in to put Southeast up 19-0. They go for one, and the pitch to Littles, who finds Odom to make it 20-0. Portal finally putting a drive together late in the game. Emma Yates to Riley Lamb. Next, Yates airs it out, and Brannon able to bring it in. She takes it inside the 10, but from there, it's Thames getting it done on defense as well. The game-sealing interception as the Jackets win their first title in their first season of playing flag football, finishing 19-0 on the season with a 20-0 victory.
It has been awesome. I mean, we've had great community support for a while now, and they all love us, and we love them, and we thank them for coming. Oh, it's great. They've come together. They're a great team. They're a great group of girls. I couldn't ask for anything else best. So to see them get what they wanted was just great.
It feels amazing. I mean, like, just the feeling that we have right now is just incredible, and I'm so excited. If you run over to your fans and they know that you just did something that no one has done at our school, it's awesome. We haven't let a single person score on us through the playoffs, and we said we're going to keep that going today, and we did, and it was awesome.
We put in countless hours of practice on and off, on outside of school. Also we practice on Halloween, we practice on Thanksgiving break, like we practice on holiday weeks whenever you're supposed to have time off. So we've worked a lot to get to where we are right now. So I think we really deserve this. I think from the start it was a little rough because this is a new sport to us. This is our first year having it at our school, so it was new to everybody, and everybody was trying to get the hang of things. But as the season kept going on, as we kept playing games, we just kept getting better and better and better. And this was an amazing game to win it, to have the championship. This is a great game.
Y'all know, everybody knows they're loaded with talent, and you could see that on the field. But we didn't go into the game thinking we weren't going to roll over for them. We're going to put up the best fight we can. We had a lot of kids injuries. We had to put in our fourth string center during that game, but I mean, they're just a great team, and we did the best we could. There's nothing to drop your head about. That there's 50 or 60 other teams in the state that would be like, that would like to have been here today playing in this game. Even though we lost, we're here 2 years in a row, and that is a great accomplishment.
So once again, congratulations to both teams for making it to the state championship, and for Southeast Bulloch for winning their first ever state title. Both teams have plenty coming back next year and should be able to get back, hopefully, again next season. All right, stay with us. High school basketball coming up next. Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, providing primary care for Statesboro area patients since 1998, providing complete physicals, complete sports physicals, Medicare wellness exams, full diabetes treatment and education, from lifestyle changes to oral medications to insulin pump therapy, in-house dermatology, in-house circulation tests and ultrasounds, and in-house labs. Featuring nurse practitioner Melissa Beasley, Family Internal Medicine of Statesboro can accommodate same-day or next-day appointments to serve your needs. Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, where we care. Well, area high school basketball teams doing very well so far in the season. There's Bulloch Academy girls undefeated, the Statesboro boys and girls undefeated, and the Portal Panthers boys team undefeated, and all ranked in among the state's top 10. Let's send you out for some highlights from this past week. Statesboro High on the road at Effingham in a battle of two top 10 ranked teams. The Devils down by 8 at the half, but coming back. Leslie Black, the hoop and the foul next. Willie Ballard drives in for the layup. The Rebels able to maintain a 4-point lead on the other end. Statesboro cuts it to 1 with the hoop and the foul by Tim Taylor. The game going back and forth. Cam Michael hits the floater, and then Albert Michael steps up and knocks down the 3. Michael then hits Cam Michael for another jump shot. Cam then penetrates for 2 more. Albert then on the other side pulls up and hits a 3 to give Statesboro a 45-44 lead at the end of the third. To the fourth we go. Ballard pulls up from 3. Ballard drives in and kisses this one off the glass. Albert Michael then with the steal. He finished with 16 points to lead the way for the Blue Devils. Michael then gives to Black, who follows up his own miss. He'd have 15 points and 13 boards, and Statesboro wins 69-54. Friday night, Statesboro at home hosting Bradwell. Their home opener, and the ladies first. Madison Lee able to hit from long range, with the Tigers able to come right back. They'd end up with the lead as we go into the second quarter, 11-7. More from Lee as she drives baseline and manages to get this one in. Alyssa Staten then hits the jumper. Statesboro takes a 13-12 lead. Tarika Gibson catches fire from outside. Here's one of her threes. Moments later, from about the same spot, she hits another. Statesboro up by 4. They'd go on an 11-0 run. Rhea Johnson ahead of the pack for the layup. Johnson then flips it ahead to Kaylee Wedlow, and the Blue Devils would take a 23-17 halftime lead. The third quarter was all Statesboro. And early on, it was all Alyssa Staten. Staten hits a couple of buckets inside, including this runner. The Blue Devils continue to feed the hot hand. She hits for 2 more in the lane, and then Staten coming through with the rebound and the putback. She'd have 16 points and 21 rebounds. Statesboro continuing to pour it on. Michaela Deacle hits here. Then it's Statesboro going on a 14-2 run. Rhea Johnson drives for the layup. Then the Blue Devils hitting up from behind the arc. Wedlow for 3. Then Gibson, 3 more of her 18 in the game. Wedlow once again hitting the 3. And the Blue Devils roll 71-33. To the boys' game we go. Things start out pretty strong for Statesboro. Jarquez Garrett blows past the defense. More from Garrett as he gets this one to go in the lane. Then it's Willie Burden's turn to start heating up. Head of the pack, gets the layup, and then Burden drives by the defense again. Statesboro up 8-2. They'd cool off for a while from the field. Garrett able to make this one just before the buzzer. Statesboro up 11-4 at the end of the first. Then Raylan Grant with the bucket. And then off the steal, Corey Hill goes in for the slam. Hill then dials it up from long range. He buries a three. Statesboro solid on defense as well. Tim Thomas comes through with a nice block. Ballard then knocks down the pull-up jumper. Jalen Michael from about the same spot. And then Sean Goodman for three just before the buzzer. Statesboro up 32-10 at the half. We move to the second half. Garrett goes baseline for the reverse. Leslie Black continues to hit the glass. Here the putback, he'd have 13 points and 15 boards. A big second half for Raylan Grant. Grant continuing to feel it. On the break, ahead of the pack, two more. Grant would lead all scorers with 20 points. Here he is again going in for the lefty layup. Grant left alone from 12 feet. Then another steal results in an easy bucket for Leslie Black. Grant then one more time, the mid-range jumper. And finally, it's Taylor inside for the dunk. Statesboro wins 76-42. The Bulloch Academy Gators at home for a matchup against Robert Toombs. We pick things up in the girls' game. Casey Ricketts popping from long distance for 3 of her 16. Next, off the steal, Armani Cook drives all the way in. She finished with 12 points in the game. Gators up by 11. Back to Ricketts we go off a nice dish from Sarah Evans. Two more. Then it's Evans able to finish going all the way in for the layup. The Gators in control. Evans able to track down the loose ball and drives in for another easy two. And then a nice dish coming up here from Ashante Noble to Sophie Strickland. Inside for the easy two. Then we off another steal, Evans going in for the lefty layup. And Cook with the pressure, and she finishes with the layup. And finally, it's Nobles. The nice spin move inside. And the Gators roll 54-21. Moving on now to the guys' game. And a little tougher matchup for Bulloch Academy. Robert Toombs undefeated on the season and showing why. The pressure defense results in an easy layup. Next, it's another fast break. Drew Vaughn finishes for the Crusaders as they take an early lead. The Gators try to respond. Ben Aaron. Next up, Mark Justin hits the three-pointer. The Gators trying to climb back in it. Justin then pulling up and banks this one in from just behind the free throw line. Then a nice drive by Brennan Perosa for the layup, but the Crusaders able to answer the pull-up jumper by M.K. McBride. Then they'll go inside to Tyler Boggs for the hoop and the foul. Then it's another three from outside, and the Gators fall 60-26. Portal hosting Jenkins County in a boys-only matchup. This one goes back and forth early on. Elijah Coleman goes in for the layup. Jenkins County answers on the other end. Jaden Lee with the mid-range jumper. And the Panthers come back. A nice feed from Coleman. Then on the inbounds play, Coleman shows his defensive back skills, the interception and layup. Jay Odom then penetrates and gets this one to fall. Coleman next steps outside for 2 of his 20 points in the game. Next on the break, Amir Jackson. Good job of trailing for the big block, but the Eagles there for the putback. The Panthers later pull away for good. Dorian Mosley ahead of the pack for the layup. Grooms then off the mark, but Jackson, the putback, he'd have 15 points in the game. More from Jackson off the steal. He goes all the way in. Portal by 8. Jackson continues his success inside. Portal will take a 20-point lead. Joe Thomas then coming through with the finishing touch as Portal wins 71-57. Move over to Saturday afternoon, guys only against Beach, first half. Jackson kicks it out to Coleman for the 3-ball. Next, Joe Thomas pulls up for 2 in the corner, but the Panthers having some trouble with Beach. Coming up with the rebound and the putback. Next, it's Jackson inside. A nice move to come through with the hoop and the foul. Next, it's Coleman from NBA range. Ties the game at 24. And then off the steal, Michael Williams ahead of the pack for the layup. Panthers by 2. Then it's Coleman fighting his way with the left hand and the foul. He'd have 20 points. Then another Thomas acrobatic jumper. He'd have 22 in the game. But the Bulldogs not going away, and they would in fact grab a 32-30 halftime lead. Second half we go. Jackson picks up his 4th foul early in the third and has to miss the rest of the third quarter. Portal down 17. Coleman leads a comeback with a pair of threes. Thomas adds a couple of threes himself and this layup. Down by 2, Jackson comes back in the fourth quarter. And he scores here. Then a nice pass and cut by Grooms. Portal by 1. Then it's a big flush on the break by Jackson. This gets the crowd into it. And then Jackson would come through with another slam. He'd have 15 points in the game. And Portal wins 69-65. And stay with us. Coming up next, we'll head over to Georgia Southern to check in on their men's and women's basketball teams.
At Badcock Home Furniture and More, we know what it means to find the perfect fit. The feeling of surprise. That just right moment of delight. It's what we see every time a family finds their priced right style and snuggle perfect comfort. Because for us, home isn't simply where you live. It's how you live. Badcock Home Furniture and More. Just right.
Well, the Georgia Southern men and women's basketball teams busy this past week. I'll send you out for some action from Hanner Fieldhouse. The Georgia Southern Eagles trying to rebound from the 4th straight loss, hosting Carver. The Eagles delivering plenty of jams to their fans. First, off the steal, Kamari Brown ahead of the pack. Next, Cam Bryant from behind the arc. He'd have 15 points in the game. Back we go to Brown. And there he goes for another high-flying jam. He'd have 15 points. Trey Cobb later drives in for the layup. The Eagles in command, much to the delight of Coach Berg. Hitting from behind the arc, it's Bryant again. Eagles up 47-18 at the half. They poured on in the second half as well. Andre Savrasov with the slam. Savrasov continues to lead the way with 22 points. And finally, it's Savrasov off the nice dish as the Eagles roll 85-43. Over the weekend, the Georgia Southern women hosting Gardner-Webb. We start things off outside where Simone James hits for 3 of her 18 points. Staying outside, it's James again. She'd be one of 5 Eagles in double figures. Next we go inside where Maya Burns hits for 2 of her team-high 24 points. A nice lefty shot. The visitors staying close. Elijah Smith, 2 of her 19, but the Eagles in command. Eden Johnson inside for 2 of her 19. Next, Burns will drive in for the layup. Georgia Southern by 13. Back to the post we go. Maya Banks hits this one. Next on the break, Deja Holmes pulls up, knocks down the three. More from Holmes. Off the steal, she cruises in for the layup. Then a nice play here, Taya Gibson, the steal. Nice touch pass inside to Taryn Ward. She'd have 18, and the Eagles win 121-105. Heading over to Macon, Georgia Southern taking on Mercer on the road. The Eagles doing well on the glass. Prince Toyambi able to get the rebound, and he throws down the slam. The Tigers answer from long distance. They'd have 10 three-pointers in the game. Mercer by 6. The Eagles try and respond. Andrei Savrasov hits the three. He'd finish with 10 points in the game. Next, it's Toyambi driving in hard for 2 more. Mercer answers with a three from Jalen Johnson, who'd have 15 points in the game. The Eagles go back inside where Carlos Curry takes the dish and throws down the slam. Later it's Curry again. Inside, another dunk. And then on the break, Elijah McCadden will able to finish with the slam, but the Eagles fall in this one, 77-68. Next up for the guys, they'll be on the road on Wednesday as they go to Bowie's Creek to take on Campbell. And next up for the women, they're up in Kennesaw State coming up on Friday. That'll wrap things up for now. We thank you for joining us. Hope to see you again next week.